yo, yo. Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, guys? Man, we are back. We are back, man. Look, if y'all just popping into the live stream, man, or y'all checking this out in the replay, make sure that y'all hit that like button as y'all coming into the stream, man. Go ahead and smack that like button one time for the team. I know it's been a while, but we are back, man. We are back. Let's go ahead and turn this music off. Let's get it rocking and rolling, y'all. All right, hold on. Boom. All right, all right, all right. What is going on, y'all? Man, it's been some time, but welcome back for another live session, man. We about to be diving into it today. I've got my guy Terrell Hawkins back for another episode of the podcast, man. So we're going to be chatting with Terrell. But before we get started, though, man, just want to make a few quick announcements or whatever. Make sure that y'all hit the like button as y'all popping into the stream, or if you're checking this out in the replay or whatever, make sure that y'all hit the like button. It really helps the channel out a lot. Also, if y'all are interested in scheduling a strategy session, 90-minute strategy session to chat with me one-on-one, be able to ask any questions that you have, make sure that y'all check out the links down below. It's going to be a lot of valuable, information. We could discuss anything that you all are interested in. So definitely check out the link down below. And then lastly, man, look, if y'all interested in grabbing some of this wholesaling merch, grab some We Buy Houses swag out here. Y'all should see some links down below the video, whatever, to be able to check that out as well, man. So hope that y'all feeling healthy and staying blessed as always, man. We about to go ahead and get it rocking and rolling. Got my guy Terrell today. What is going on, my brother? How is it going?
So, man, it's going good. It's going good.
Hey, man, glad to have you back on to the podcast, bro. So, yeah, my pleasure, bro. So for the people who don't know you, bro, maybe you can go ahead and just give them a brief intro.
Okay. All right, no problem. So 24 years old, based out of the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia area, actually located in Maryland. Graduated from Penn State last year. Did a little bit over 200K and working with hedge funds in the last year or so, primarily wholesaling, doing real estate. So everything I do is virtual.
Okay. You say you're the virtual guy, and I know that like you tend to work with a lot of hedge funds and stuff like that. Been building out that hedge fund empire out there, bro. I see. I know you're a humble man. You try to be pretty humble, but I know you're out there crushing it, man, for real. So
Appreciate it.
okay, so man, so the topic is like, is wholesaling dead? I think that's like the actual title that we have on there, and what's actually going on in the real estate market. So the last time that you was on here, you was kind of telling us what was going on with your actual business and how you're working with hedge funds and things of that nature. But I'm curious, like what's new with business? Like, how is business coming along for you?
So the business is good. We actually shifted the focus. I actually made a reel probably about 3 months ago on my Instagram about the top list that I was going after. And one of the top lists was pre-foreclosures. So I'm definitely seeing a lot of success right now with the pre-foreclosures. I've seen the most come on to the market in the last week or so than the last couple of months. So it's definitely hitting. A lot of people hurting. So I'm definitely going after people that's actually feeling the pain right now.
Okay. So pre-foreclosures have been picking up. I think you mentioned something about like you were like working on some type of deal that you were trying to stop a pre-foreclosure or something like that, or
Yeah,
like you just
yeah.
recently stopped a pre-foreclosure, right?
So that was a crazy one. I actually just talked to that seller earlier this afternoon to renegotiate with price with her a little bit because of the hedge fund I was working with. It's wins and losses with working with hedge funds. Sometimes you get hit with concessions. You got to deal with it. It's the name of the game. So I got hit with one, and I just had to drop price a little bit with the seller. She understood that I was helping her out, so I got that done. We got the auction postponed 60 days. So plenty of time to close. Tenant occupied right now. Plenty of time for the tenant to get out the property and help her out of her situation. Refinance didn't work. The attorney she was working with didn't file the temporary restraining order against the bank like he said he was going to do. And yeah, so we're getting this done, helping her out. It's a lot of people in her situation right now.
Very interesting. So you're saying that, I'm assuming like you're seeing like more of these pre-foreclosure type of people like starting to pop up now, you're saying?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think the
Okay.
top list right now is probably probate, pre-foreclosure, and vacant
Yeah.
properties.
Yeah, it's definitely been a lot of vacant properties. I've
Yeah.
been seeing that myself on my end. Okay. Okay. So I'm curious though, like, okay, so for the audience though, like how is it that you're actually like, if you're in a situation where, we're in this market situation where, some people may be getting pre-foreclosed on, interest rates are going, it's a lot of different factors going on in the market right now, right? So I'm curious, like, how, like when you were like stopping the pre-foreclosure, like what are you actually doing? You're reaching out to the bank or like what's your process? I'm just curious.
Yeah. So what I actually did, I reached out to the trustee. That was, I'm not gonna say that was my first mistake, but that's what I was told to do by a couple of people. And it's actually a step further you need to go. I reached out to the trustee to get the foreclosure postponed, the auction date postponed. They don't stop it unless you catch up the payments, catch up what the reinstatement amount is. So I contacted the trustee, told him, hey, I want this to be postponed another 30 days. I'll send you over the agreement and proof of funds so we can get this done. And
Mm,
they sent it over to the bank, but I had to follow up a couple of times to know that they did that. And I emailed them 3 times after the initial email before
mm,
I actually got a response. I have on read receipts on all my emails, so I know that they
mm.
actually opened. That's a little tiny gem, but it is a big effect. So
Mm,
you know when they open up emails and can follow up with them, and they will open it up, but they didn't respond to me. So I'm like, okay, just tell me that the bank didn't give you a response.
right,
They
right.
didn't do it until like my third, fourth email, and then they told me it's just on hold. So, come this happened last Friday. Come last Friday, the seller calls me and tells me that the trustee called her and told her that it's still in pre-foreclosure. It's still
Mm,
headed to auction. I'm like, why would they do that when they didn't get a response back? Now you just freaking the seller out.
hmm.
So I just went ahead. I got a third party authorization by the seller to talk to the bank on her behalf. Spoke to the bank for about an hour and make
Okay.
sure that the documentation that the trustee was supposed to send actually went to the right person and it was actually processing and see if they needed anything additional to postpone the foreclosure.
Mm,
Talked for an hour. It went to the right people, went to the right department, followed up on Monday of this week, and then they told me that they approved it to be postponed 60 days to give me enough time to conduct the sale of the property, to conclude the sale of the property.
okay. Damn. Okay. So it sounds like there was a lot of work involved with actually
Yeah,
pulling off this whole thing, kind of like from start to finish. Just so, man, like that's a lot of game for you all out there checking out this stream, man. Like, Terrell's
definitely. This is
breaking down
not
like literally.
entry level techniques.
Right, like literally breaking down how to actually stop a pre-foreclosure. A lot of people may get intimidated even by the idea of like trying to stop a pre-foreclosure, like before they even get started, like, nah, I'm just gonna step away from that. And to be honest with you,
Yeah,
that's kind of what I've kind of done historically. I'm like, I kind of I kind of just pass those off to other people, like yourself that I know that may be able
yeah.
to do something like that or whatever. So that's
I
really,
completely
really
get it.
yeah, yeah. So, okay, so I'm curious though. So, like a lot of people have been talking about, like I've been seeing people saying that like wholesaling could be dead or da 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 da, like you gotta adapt and adjust and da 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 da. But I'm curious to hear what you think. Like have you had any, quote unquote difficulties in the business lately that would be because of like a market shifts or anything like that, or just any other difficulties in general, whatever that you want to bring up with
Yeah.
the audience?
So what I'm seeing, I've been doing this for 2 years. What I'm seeing is I have to adapt pretty much every quarter. Whether it's something small or something big, I have to adapt something to stay relevant in the game, in the
Mhm.
wholesaling game. And this year really just it pushed it a lot more, pushed that agenda a lot more. You need to adapt. If you don't adapt, you will fail in this business. Wholesaling is not easy, um, but it's pretty simple, realistically. You just gotta be able to work at it and work at the process and perfecting the process and the systems that you would have in place. So I would say I did have some difficulty come June because most of what I do is centered around hedge funds.
Mhm.
And during those first 2 weeks of June, there was a lot of uncertainty. People were thinking hedge funds were pulling out the market. They did pull out the market for 2 weeks, 2, 3 weeks. Some of them are still out, but the vast majority of them are still buying properties. Even in these interest
Mhm.
rates today, the interest rate just increased today, and my funds are still buying. So, in terms of
Right.
wholesaling, the common theme I'm seeing is either it's getting too difficult to get properties on the contract, or is getting too difficult to even wholesale in general, like in terms of dispo. And getting
Mhm.
them on the contract is really just the regulation for text blasting and cold calling and whatnot. You just need to change up your marketing techniques, do agent outreach, something like that. You'll be you'll be in a better position than just focusing on one marketing channel. You need to open up your eyes to explore different things so you can be ready to adapt when you need to.
Mhm.
And then in terms of the limitation on the dispo and people thinking that part is dead, work with hedge funds. You worry about regulation. So let's just take Oklahoma City. I know they have some regulation. Well, in
Mhm.
terms of assignments, I believe. I think that's what it is. So let's just say for that,
Yeah.
you can't assign your contracts. Why don't you just double close with a hedge fund that's buying there?
Boom.
You're buying
You
the
said you got the
property.
ultimate trump card.
Yeah, you're buying the property just with your own company using transactional funding. And then you're just going to sell the property the same day to a hedge fund. You're not assigning anything, so you're technically actually buying the house, which I think is a lot of is the common conception about why regulations needed for wholesalers, because they get on the contract and they don't fulfill their contractual duties. But
Mhm.
you double close and you're actually buying the house, you get more testimonials because the seller knows that you bought the house. Seller doesn't need to know that you flipped on the back end, because that's a whole separate transaction. That's the B2C transaction. You're dealing with the A to B with that seller. So the HUDs are different, the closing statements are different. It's just that's the way to get around the regulation. So you can literally shift like that right there is something that you can do. Agent outreach and then sell your deals to hedge funds. You get
Mm.
around both problems. That's one
Right.
method, but there's multiple out here.
Yeah, yeah. It's always a way to adapt with the circumstances. That's why I was asking, like, have you seen any difficulties? Because I think that every single year there's always something, right? There's new legislation in the states that you've been wholesaling in. There's this going on. The state that you live in is requiring you to get a license, whatever it may be. However, like we have to be able to try, fail, and adjust. Kind of like you're saying, we got to be able to kind of roll with
Right.
the punches. Regardless of what's going on, we still want to get out here and get paid. So I've definitely been hearing a lot of different I've been hearing mixed results in terms of like what's actually going on in the market and stuff like that or whatever. That's why I titled it the way that I did, because I kind of want to address that. Like, is wholesaling really dead, or do we kind of just need to adjust, maybe add on additional exit strategies, such as like just some creative deals, or doing lease options, or subject to deals, whatever it may be. Maybe even looking into land or doing mobile home deals, whatever it may be, just adjusting with what's actually going on in the market, and not complaining about it, just kind of doing what we need to do to actually get results out here. For real.
Definitely. I think they're saying it's dead because it's not as easy. I feel like it's mainly newer wholesalers, newer investors that's saying it's dead because they don't have the foundation in place yet to be able to adapt and go whatever direction they need to be going. So they're saying it's dead. They want to go and do Airbnb or do lease options and whatnot. There's nothing wrong with that, but
Mhm.
wholesale is not dead. Certain markets is more dead than others, but
Mhm.
it's still possible everywhere realistically.
Yeah,
Double
yeah,
closing is a version of wholesaling at the end of the day.
absolutely. At the end of the day, we got to be in the game, and the more exit strategies that we have available to us, the more money we can make out here. Such as you talking about like the hedge funds, like and correct me if I'm wrong, but you said that like like you've done deals with hedge funds that's buying to up to like 98% of the ARV and whatnot, right?
Definitely.
That's kind of
Definitely.
ridiculous, right? So it's like, there's always going to be ways around. Not to mention, like, prices are going down right now as well. We got interest rates going up. So there's not as many buyers in the market. There's kind of like some uncertainty and stuff like that. A lot of different factors going on, but there's always a way to get out here and make some things happen. So, guys, matter of fact, I see there's there's a decent amount of you all watching the stream right now. Make sure that y'all drop some comments down below. Like if y'all want to be featured on the podcast, we'll definitely take a chance to answer some questions. We'll compile some questions and whatnot, and take some time around the end of the session or whatever to answer all of you all's questions. If y'all got any questions about the market, what's going on, just general real estate questions, feel free to drop a comment down below and we'll feature you on the podcast. All right. So anyway, so man, I got some more questions for you though, bro. So so I guess like I'm not sure if I actually asked you this specific question, but like have you noticed any like specific differences in how your hedge funds are buying like since since we started to see these like new market shifts and whatnot? Like are they buying differently or no? I'm curious.
They are. On average, they are, because of their interest rate. Not their interest rate, their cap rate is increasing. So their minimum cap rate is increasing. Let's just say it was at 4% cap rate. Now they need to be at like 5-6% cap rate, especially after like the interest rate this year. From what I've been noticing, I had conversation with these funds. From June, they already started looking ahead, because there was a conversation about, okay, how far is the Federal Reserve going to go in terms of the interest rate. From what I've seen, based on my research, they're going to keep increasing it up until 2024, and that's when they're going to start dropping it. These hedge funds, for the most part, already realize that, and they're already accounting that into their numbers. So that's why you're not seeing a huge adjustment. They're not offering like 70% of anything like that. Right, they're still, from what I'm seeing, in terms of cap rate, the highest cap rate I've seen is 9%.
Okay.
The lowest I've seen is 4%. Each fund operates differently. Each fund buys differently. Each fund has different criteria based on how their investors operate and what their risk threshold is. So that's really the range I'm seeing, between 4 and 10% in terms of the cap rate. I mean, we wholesale, so for us, most of the time, it's really our perception of the percent of ARV. So for the longest time, I would be interpreting, okay, where are these funds buying at in terms of percent ARV? Are they buying at 75% ARV? Are they buying at 80% ARV? Are they buying at 100% ARV? Right. So that's really a translation interpretation for us to understand it better. But all of these funds, in terms of ARV after pair value, what they look at is mainly the appreciation in the area. They don't really look at the comps. What they look at is appreciation, the rental appreciation, what rent they can get to help calculate their cap rate, because that's the main thing they're focusing on, is their cap rate. What return of investment are they going to be getting for this purchase, as with the repairs they need to put into it and whatnot. Let's see, we got a couple questions. I'm just going to say those for later.
Yeah. No, you keep going. This is getting good. Like I'm all into it and stuff. I think the whole audience is into it. Like for real. Like this is actually really interesting for real.
All right. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. The cap rate is the biggest difference. That's the increase. It was a period of time where they were lowering their max rehab threshold. So on the average right now, I'm seeing is 35,000 as their max rehab that they're willing to do. You gotta keep in mind, a person like me or you doing a flip, contractors are going to be a pretty penny. But these hedge funds are buying hundreds and hundreds of properties a month. Right. So they're doing volume bulk pricing with these contractors. So what will cost us to do a flip? What will cost us 15,000? Probably cost them like 7. Right. Makes sense. They're getting all types of discounts. So you're not seeing that much of a decrease in their max rehab that they're willing to take on. It's really the cap rate. What is their net operating income, and what renovation do they need to put into it for the certain price that they're gonna offer or going to need to be at. So that's the main shift that I'm seeing, is the cap rate. Everything else doesn't really change too much. The due diligence period is pretty much still the same. So it's not much of a difference. They still pay all the closing costs as well.
Okay, right. So they're still buying at like high ARV ranges, like you said, kind of like for a reference for a wholesaler. But what's really changing is the cap rate that they want on the property. They want to make sure that this property is actually bringing in money, so on and so forth. Like they want to see what those rent rolls are looking like. It's a lot more analytical, it sounds like, versus
Exactly.
you're just trying to wholesale a property off to like a regular buyer. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Come this time next year, from what I was told, some of these funds might be pushing towards the 1% rule for what they're going to offer. So that would be a good thing to pay attention to and plan for in these coming markets, because obviously these sellers are going to be they're going to need to sell their houses for lower prices. Not wanting to, they're going to need to. So when that time comes, you need to be able to have these buyers in your back pocket to take advantage of that difference in price. Because the honest truth, these buyers, like I could just sense it today. A lot of buyers just plummeted their prices or pulled out of the market. The regular private buyers, but even if these hedge funds drop price, let's just say their cap rate go from 4% to 6%. At the same time, a regular private buyer can be like, okay, they were buying at 75% minus repairs, minus your profit
right.
initially. And then after this interest rate increase, they might be at like maybe, like, I'll just be conservative, 70% minus repairs. That's a pretty big difference where you can still have a hedge fund buying at 85%, where a couple months ago they were buying at 90. You see, it's not that much of a difference in terms of where the hedge funds drop price and then where the private buyers drop price. And the hedge funds are still buying top dollar realistically. Not as high as like last June. That was crazy. But that was a freak time in the market, we all know.
Yeah.
And now it's a little bit more realistic, but they're still outbidding a lot of people, a lot of investors, especially these private buyers. And their private buyers don't even want to pay all the closing costs that much anymore. They want to split it, or the sellers want to take concessions and whatnot.
Right.
So yeah.
Man, that's really interesting, man. You know, that the hedge fund game is quite different from, you know, just like the regular. I'm just trying to sell this to a local investor that's looking for a property, right? Like with the hedge funds, you got to get a lot more analytical. However, it sounds like those spreads are going to be a lot larger as well. Like if they're willing to buy it for so much, not to mention you should be able to get a lot more people to say yes. I mean, it sounds like you can basically go after the same leads as almost like a real estate agent and basically just get them to make like a 5% decrease on their price. And, you know, you can probably actually get it sold to a hedge fund for a decent little spread right there. 10% off what they're looking for or whatever. And boom, you've got a deal. So don't sound too bad at all, man. I know you came on here and dropped some crazy gems about, you know, hedge funds, how to find hedge funds. You got really, really in depth, y'all. If y'all haven't checked out that podcast, this is Terrell's second time being on here. So if y'all haven't checked out that previous one, make sure that y'all check that out, man. Terrell be dropping.
That was crazy.
He said he is out here in these streets. Like, yeah, he dropped some gems for real. So, okay, man, I got some more questions for you, bro. You know, I know that the audience is curious as well. Guys, if y'all got questions, like just for all of you all popping in here right now, if y'all just coming in, make sure that y'all hit the like button for us, man. It really, really helps out the channel a lot. It gets more people inside of here and whatnot. Share it out to your people who you think may be able to benefit from learning more about the stuff that we're talking about. You know, we're going to get into some market type stuff and all of that good stuff, but also drop any questions that y'all have down below. We're going to have a brief discussion right here, but then after that, we're going to open it up to the audience to be able to ask you all's questions. Maybe even have one of you all, two of you all pop onto the screen with us or whatever. We'll drop a link down below if y'all want to come onto camera and actually ask y'all questions live in person with us on this session. So yeah, drop some questions down below. Let's have a conversation here, guys. And as y'all pop up questions, we'll probably actually interject some of these questions into the actual conversation as well. Speaking of that, I've actually got a question from Eddie Jones, EXP Realty. He's got a question that's specific about wholesaling. So I kind of want to hit this one right now, just because he asks, like, what is the best way to find a hedge fund buyer in your market? Since we've been talking about it, whatever, we've been kind of getting into the nitty gritty. I'm curious, like, what would you say is the best way to find a hedge fund buyer?
So, I mean, networking is cool, but at the end of the day, people are going to value their connection with the hedge fund. So they're probably not going to give you the connection, especially for free. So I would say find them yourself. actually finding who's buying in your market, that can be real technical. I have my secret technique
Uh-oh.
to do this. um, you can do it with a couple of different platforms. It's not a really a free method. You can do it with county data. It's going to take you a while to get that done because the way these hedge funds work, they're hidden behind LLCs. So you really can't really figure out how they're linked except for the address. That's literally one tip right there. You
Okay.
can find them linked through the mailing address. So I guess one suggestion that I can make for you is the free method. Go to the county data and somehow find out the recent sales for a select period of time,
Mhm.
and then you can either scrub that or export that into a CSV file or whatever, and sort and see which ones, which entities own the most properties that have like the most properties linked to a certain mailing address.
Mm.
And more often than not, if it's like dozens, that's a hedge fund.
Boom.
If it's not a hedge fund, you need to be reaching out to them anyway because they're buying a whole bunch of properties.
Right, right.
Simply
Okay.
put, but
Okay.
that's the free method. And the secret method, you can use prop stream. I'll give that a little teaser out. Use prop stream.
Check out Prop String. Also, man, check out what was the site again, bro? I know you gotta I know that you're out here showing a lot of people out here how to actually get into the hedge fund space. What was the I think I got it on here or whatever. What was the website again?
How to
Like
find
if y'all want to get
hedgefunds.com.
boom, how to find hedgefunds.com, y'all. Matter of fact, I'm gonna type that in real quick. So if y'all actually interested in getting all of the nuggets on the hedge fund specific space, definitely check out. Hold on, let me type this in. Boom. So, but yeah, man, definitely check that out, y'all. I'm going here it is. Boom.
We got
Posting it
another
back.
bonus to it tonight. Matter of
Hey,
fact,
you say you got a bonus. Hey, you say you got new bonuses. Okay, all right, I see you, bruh. So, man, definitely check that out whenever y'all get a chance. After this session and whatnot, definitely check it out. Okay, so boom, I see, boom, y'all dropping some more questions and whatnot. I'm gonna be saving these questions, guys, just so y'all understand. I'm gonna save the questions, and then at the end, we're gonna really get into a bunch more of the questions and whatnot. But boom, that was a free nugget right there, Eddie Jones. You say you just came up in the world, bro. Great question, though. Great question. He says great info, Terrell. You see that?
yeah,
All right, so
yeah,
I got some more
appreciate
questions for you myself as well. And if y'all got any questions as y'all coming in, definitely drop a question down below. We just out here chatting, talking about the market, talking about us wholesaling dead. You know what I'm saying? What's going on in the real estate market, talking hedge funds, all of this stuff. So, we could basically talk about anything. Drop any questions that y'all may have. We're more than willing to, kind of go into some details, try to drop some nuggets on y'all in this session. All right. So, all right. So I know. Okay. So here's the thing, because obviously the market is shifting, right? Prices are starting to drop now. Interest rates are starting to go up. Things are changing. Sellers are making concessions and stuff like that or whatever. So have you noticed a difference in how you have to comp your properties now? I'm very curious, like what's your
yeah,
experience been with that?
yeah, most definitely. So I'm taking June as like the furthest back I will go
Mhm.
in terms of comparable properties. Realistically, now I don't even go back out to June. I do last 3 months.
Yep.
If I could do last month, that's even better. But last 3 months, because at this point now, it seems like they're going to be increasing the interest rate on almost a monthly basis. So having comps that are no more than 30 days old is going to be very helpful for you when you try and dispo these deals to buyers that's going to be trying to knock you upside the head with price drops. So that I would say the absolute most 3 months, and the preferable range will be a month out in terms of these comp date ranges.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, definitely, because if you catch yourself out like 6 months, a year back, and some of
Yeah,
these softwares, they'll default to like a year back or 6 months back. Right now, you got to make sure that you're actually setting those parameters yourself and making sure that you're not too far back in terms of those comps. That could definitely,
yeah,
oh, excuse me, throw off your numbers, and then it could be a reason why us wholesalers keep getting that bad name. Oh, these people don't know their
yeah.
numbers and da
You
da da
will
da.
definitely get caught with a cancellation contract. That you will have to do that.
Yeah,
Simply put.
exactly. You don't want those problems, man. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make sure that obviously y'all know, I'm sure that a lot of y'all watching, y'all know that we make our money on the front end. So it's very, very important to make sure that you are getting the property for the correct price up front. But I was just curious, like what your experience has been when it comes to that or whatever, because I've definitely noticed that, we gotta, adjust some things going on right now. So I just figured I'd ask you that. That's definitely like a market situation that's going on right now.
Yeah,
So,
definitely
okay.
current data.
So I think we already kind of touched on this one question. I was going to ask you, like, what are the advantages of working with hedge funds right now? I mean, like, do you want to touch base on that? I think we kind of touched base on that already. Like, they're still buying a high rates, da 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 da. But I mean, is there anything else you kind of want to add to that?
I'm gonna give a little bit of an example. Let's just say there was another wholesaler, literally another wholesaler that was. I'm gonna give you a specific example. I mean, I'm marketing Indianapolis, and
Mhm.
I see a property that's a 3-bed, 2-bath, tax delinquent, vacancy, off market property. And I talked to the seller, and the seller ended up telling me they got an offer for, I don't know, let's just say 170,
Mhm.
ARV 300. I'm,
Okay. Yeah.
I'm smiling at that point. I'm like, oh, for real? Okay. Me, even on the low end, I can be offering 70% flat. I don't know exact numbers in that because that was an example, but I'm pretty sure it's higher than that 170 number.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that, let's say our ARV really is 300, I can probably sell it to a hedge fund for minimum 250.
Mm. Mm.
So that alone is the advantage right there. And working with funds, I got outbid these other wholesalers. They need to be lower to account for the prices for their private buyers dropping prices.
Right. Right. Right.
It's better for me. The
They
more
say.
these interest rates go up, the lower everything go. But I'm still pretty much here. I'm still. This is a bigger payday for me. 'Cause even I
Right.
can
Right.
lower the price I asked for. Actually on the contract with the seller, and I'm still making. I can still make 20 bands, 20,000. I still make 20,000.
Man, you say you cheating out here, man. It's like almost like a cheat code. That's not even fair, man. I don't know what's going on.
Literally, literally.
So yeah, obviously it's going to be a ton of benefits of working with hedge funds right now. Like or unless you've got a ton of buyers that buy in bulk, people that have large pockets right now, and as long as their algorithms make sense as well, a lot of people that buy a lot of properties, they basically do everything off of the numbers. The numbers make sense to them. If it falls into these parameters, or AKA like their buy box, they're going to buy the property. They're going to pull the trigger if it matches their criteria. So I like buyers that buy like that. They make life easy, especially when market conditions start to fluctuate and stuff like that or whatever. But man, I'm glad to see that we're actually going into this buyer's market right now. So yeah, man. So okay, so let me see what else we got going on here. All right. So, what I kind of wanted to talk about is like some other market factors, just like kind of general stuff that's going on in the market that could be affecting buyers, sellers, the general real estate industry right now, or whatever. And like, what are some solutions that we can kind of propose to the people, watching this or whatever, to be able to still maximize their opportunity? So, I guess like some of the things that's happened, and I mentioned this a couple times already, is like, we've got interest rates skyrocketing. You mentioned that as well. So it seems like every month we've got like new interest rate hikes, and that's going to cost people literally like tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars more over like
Yeah.
a 30-year mortgage. That's like a lot. It's a lot of money extra. So it's not just a little bit. So we've got that happening. So not as many buyers want to buy, especially like first time buyers, stuff like that. They're kind of hesitant right now. And then so sellers, because there's a drop in demand, sellers are lowering their prices and making concessions to buyers. Basically, maybe they'll play your closing costs. Maybe they'll throw in some type of incentive to actually get you to
Mhm.
take their offer, or give them the price that they want. So but I'm curious, like, are there any other like like market factors that you see? Like, what are some things that you're seeing going on in the market that's affecting buyers and sellers right now, outside of the stuff that I guess we've kind of talked about already?
Um, I mean the interest rate is definitely a huge thing, inflation and all that.
Mhm.
But I don't really pay attention to too many other factors because most of them, other than that, are smaller. But I mean, the whole thing happening with Russia and Ukraine did have an effect as well.
That too, yeah. Yeah.
It was a subtle effect, but you could tell when stuff was starting to get serious and people were talking about World War III really going on. I mean, that hasn't really gone away too much, but when it was serious, it was just like a little hesitation that might still be there, but I
Mm.
did pick up on that as well as the interest rate and the inflation
Right.
having an effect.
Yeah, you know that you mentioned that. That's very interesting because another thing that happened is that China's economy is kind of imploding right now as well. They're having a
I
whole bunch
did
of
hear about
situations,
that.
so it's like there's supply chain issues as well that's causing product to get to places later and da 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 da. It's a lot of different things to actually consider right now that's actually going on and within the market. So this is a rare time. This not like a, this happens all the time type situation. This is probably like a, one of those 10-year waves that, comes around every once in a while.
But you
But we
guys
got to
take
be able to
advantage
ride it.
of it.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be able to ride that wave. We got to know how to ride that wave and have reasonable boats, I guess, if you will. You know what I mean? To be
Yeah.
able to ride the wave. You know what I'm saying? We got to be able to keep it going despite, the market conditions. Let's put it like that or whatever. So,
Because I did my first wholesale deal in June of 2020
mm.
when so many wholesalers stopped, just stopped. They were scared about moving deals and stuff like that. And that's when I really made my foothold.
Nice.
So in situations like this is definitely the key time to be doubling down on your efforts. I'm not gonna say doubling down on your expenses, but doubling down on your efforts to make stuff work. If you need the game plan, whiteboard, do whatever you need to do to make it work, do it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. It's gonna take a lot, especially with, as other people getting into the wholesaling space right now. A lot of people are hurting. So a lot of people are online looking for ways to make money at home and da 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 da. So, there's gonna be more competition as well. You just gotta stay on, you gotta stay motivated. Don't compare yourself to everybody else, but get out there and put in a ton of work. Don't play no games, don't make no excuses. Gotta get out there and put in work. We can't make money and make excuses at the same time. You can only do one or the other. You know what I'm saying? So so yeah, though, bro. So speaking of that, though, like I'm curious, like because I want to kind of get into a period where we can actually answer some questions from the community and stuff like that. Definitely want to kind of dive into that. Grant W says I may need a bigger whiteboard. Hey, I hear you, my brother. And real quick, also we had a question I wanted to pop into. Eddie wanted to ask you, Eddie Jones, EXP Realty wanted to ask you, what is it that you do, Terrell? You a wholesaler or something else?
You can call me wholesaler for now. I say for now because I got plans. I'm only doing wholesale at the moment, but I'm definitely looking to expand. Wholesale is a way to build capital to go into other things I'm looking to do.
Mm-hmm. Boom. So he's a real estate investor. You can call him that.
Yeah, yeah,
I guess
yeah,
all of us, like you can really consider all of us. Wholesaling is really just an exit strategy of real estate. So, we're all real estate investors in all reality.
exactly.
So at least that's what I encourage everybody to call themselves. I don't even like the term wholesaler, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty much just a role. It's not really a title per se.
right. It's like it's an exit. It's one of the possible exits that we may be able to pop into.
Right.
Let's see. So another quick question. Let's see. No, what is this? John Lee says, I was able to purchase his course and it's game changer. Already seeing the results. Thanks to real. Hey, you say you got
Yeah.
the fan crowd is out here the right way indeed.
John is the man.
The right way indeed, man. I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see that. So, guys, I want to give you all a chance to be able to pop onto the stream. If y'all want to pop onto the stream, let me see if I can put this invite link onto the YouTube stream real quick. I want to pop this on here. Hold on. Let me put this onto the stream. We'll put the invite link if anybody wants to pop up on a camera. I'm gonna pin this to the comments. Hold on. Where's the comments at? Lord, can I get to the comments? Where's the comments at?
How many
Oh, there
people
it is.
are in right now in the live? I can't see it.
I'm not sure. I want to say like maybe 20 something. Not too many. It's not nothing too crazy. Yeah, nothing too crazy. It's been a while, so I'm not surprised, but I do appreciate all of you are that all out here with us today, man. I know it's been a while, so I do appreciate y'all support. I just dropped the link. If anyone wants to pop on to the actual stream with us and actually have a conversation, definitely hit that StreamYard link and come pop on here with us. Come ask your question live. Put your face on it. Yeah, we would love to have a conversation. And also, let's see. Yeah, so I want to give you all a chance to let's see. I got some starred questions. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Michelle asks. Michelle says, "Hey, is this a time to become a new wholesaler? What say you, my brother?"
Yes. I'm not gonna say no. There's not a time to not be a new wholesaler.
I feel you. I feel you.
Especially if you have other avenues you want to pursue in real estate, or I mean even in life. So wholesale can get you so much money up front if you actually put an effort into it with a high return percentage. Is you can I just did the deal I just closed. I put up my EMD. I put up $1,250 $50 is my EMD. And I think at the end of the day, it ended up costing me in terms of profit loss up front, maybe like $200 in terms of expenses to get stuff done.
Right.
And then I think I made 19,000. So, but I got my EMD back. So then they only cost me $200 pretty much to make 19,000.
That sounds like a good
What
deal
other
to me.
businesses? Yeah, what other businesses can you do that? What other investment strategies can you use to get to that point? You can do options trading, but it's very risky. Wholesaling real estate is a lot more surefire way to get that money.
100%, 100%. And I think honestly, I truly believe this when I say it. I think that wholesaling is by far, I believe that it's the best quote unquote like entry level position into real estate because it shows you the most important skill, how to actually source a deal. You know what I mean? Like once you learn how to source deals, then you can literally go out there and do any exit strategy that you so choose at that time. Right. But like you got to be able to first actually get the deal. And that's what in my mind, like wholesaling really is going out there. It's kind of doing like the quote unquote, the grunt work and actually, kind of grinding these deals together, piecing it together. But you actually figure out how to communicate with people, how to actually get deals under contract, how to get a deal for a discount price. So even if you're looking for your dream home, you can go out there and never pay retail for a property. That's my goal, to never pay retail for a property that I purchase. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of like a general mindset that I think that anyway, I'm saying that I think that's why wholesaling is one of the best entry level positions into the real estate game, period. Seriously.
I agree. And you know how to talk to pretty much everyone. You know how to talk to title companies. You know how to talk to attorneys if you have to deal with that situation. You know how to talk to realtors. You know how to talk to rental buyers. You know how to talk to fix and flippers. If you do commercial wholesaling, which you can do, you learn how to talk to commercial brokers, commercial owners, stuff like that. It's what other avenue in real estate do you learn how to talk to so many people besides wholesaling?
Right, exactly. So it's like that puts you in position to actually understand the market a lot better that maybe you wouldn't necessarily understand if you took another route. Because even if you go out there and you just start buying properties, let's say retail, then I mean, I talk to a lot of investors all the time. Like, man, I bought 4 properties retail off the market, but I want to learn how to do this wholesaling stuff. I want to learn how to go out there and get some properties for a discount price instead of buying everything retail or damn near over retail when we were in that crazy seller's market just now.
Yeah.
So, I heard that all the time. So good thing that things are changing now, but we gotta actually know these skills to be able to kind of rock and roll out here. So Michelle, just to answer your question, I hope that does answer your question, Michelle. It's been I mean, I think it's always going to be a great time to be able to become a wholesaler. Let's put it like that. But I think right now it's definitely a great time because wholesaling is just the ability to get the deal for a discount, in my opinion, right? What you do with it after that is up to you. In all reality, there's so many different exit strategies. So whatever you want to do, I think that right now is just a good time to be in real estate in general. I would say get in, what they say, buy real estate and wait. Don't wait to buy real estate. But even if you're not buying, I would say at least get into the game. You know what I'm saying? Like go sell somebody else's property if that's the case. So Good question though, Michelle. Good question. Let's see. So we answered that question already. Bang. Let's see. What was this? I'm not sure. Okay, Rick D. Jordan. Rick says, content. Oh, fire content and guest. Ed. Question for Terrell. Any luck with pre-probates found on PropStream?
Um, I don't suggest doing like bulk marketing to a pre-probate list. That's mainly if you want to do like niche marketing. You want to focus specifically on those contacts because those are the people that are already deceased. So you need to find their family members. If you skip trace, let's just say you skip trace with batch leads or something like that. It's probably not going to get you back numbers. If it is, most likely going to be wrong numbers because that person's deceased. So you need to find out who their relative is that is attached to the state, or if it's the husband, wife, whatever that's attached to the state, and focus on them. If it's a one owner situation, PropStream tells you if it's owner one deceased or owner two deceased and whatnot. Let's just say it's only one owner for the property and that person's deceased. Mm-hmm. You skip trace it. Who you want to find? How do you even know that they're related to them? So you kind of need to take a deeper dive into those prospects. It's not, you can't approach them the same way as you approach an MLS fail list or a vacancy list. You have to put more effort into it. It can pay you back more rewards, but you also need to learn how probate works. You can't just hit up pre-probate people and not understand how you can actually help them. You need to become somewhat of an expert in that, at least a novice. You need to learn how to be a novice in terms of probate and the probate process. And if you need to, at least refer them out to somebody else that can educate them on that while you're getting educated. But there's definitely not a list that I would say you can hit up with bulk marketing. I don't really do that too much. To be honest, I focus on the pre-foreclosures, but pre-probate is a list that can bring you some money.
Okay, so real quick, because like just to take a step back, I'm asking this question for Rick. I'm just gonna ask his follow-up question. I'm gonna ask a follow-up question for him just because you mentioned this, like, and I'll give my answer as well because I got some tips on this as well. Like, how would you actually go about finding those relatives of the deceased person? Then, if that's the advice, you say, like, you'll have to deep dive it a little bit more. Like, do you have like a site that you would actually check out if you were doing that? I mean, I know some sites as well, but I'm just curious, like, what would you recommend in terms of actually finding them?
I'll give the free version and I'll give the paid version. The free version, truepeoplesearch.com. Use them. Paid version, the best single skip trading platform out here, in my opinion. Skip Genie.
Skip Genie.
That's the best to me. I've gotten, actually, the contract I have right now, the pre-foreclosure I was talking about earlier that I got extended, found their contact information from Skip Genie.
Okay.
My regular skip tracing platform didn't get any information back, so I got it through Skip Genie.
Oh God. Okay, man. That's very, very interesting. Okay, man. You say you be coming with the gems, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, I've heard.
I need to hold some back. He's like,
hold on, slow your roll. Don't get all of the juice. Hey, I know how it is, man. You know, I know you come on to the Wholesale Coach podcast. You be like, oh God, I'm giving all the juice. That's what happens every time.
I'm the type to help people.
Of course,
the energy you put out into the universe will come back to you. You out helping people all the time. You won't get it back.
Man, as they say, there's no competition when you create, and I see that you create, bro. Like you know, like you figure it out on your own. It's not like you like, oh well, let me, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like you're taking your own path. So it's like when you're blessing other people with it. There's no such thing as competition. You got this. Exactly. That's been my mentality since I first got into the game. Seriously. I would be in, like, what they're saying. I'm not sure what is he saying. I would be in looking. I'm not sure what that was from. Okay. Somebody was saying like, oh, I would be in, but I'm looking like something, Jack. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's all good. No worries. Let's see. It is the perfect wealth building vehicle. I totally agree, Grant. I'm pretty sure that you're talking about real estate. Absolutely, absolutely. And Michelle says, "Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Looking to start to build capital to do my own flips." Okay, that's what's up.
And
Seriously.
definitely do that.
Yeah, and I think that that's one of the best ways to go out there and maybe, link up at some REI meetings as well. You'll probably, meet some local individuals, and having kind of like that tribe around you is definitely valuable. So I would recommend do that for yourself. That's part of the reason why we do these live sessions as well. I'm going to start doing a lot more of these as well, guys, just so y'all know. So, get to know the people down in the comment box and stuff like that and whatnot. Actually engage and interact with people as well. I think that that'll be pretty helpful to actually grow some bonds with other people, actually, take this thing to the next level, help you have enough energy to keep it going. It takes a lot of work to get these deals done sometimes, for real.
Yeah,
Okay, so
definitely.
let's see. Let's see. Hold on, I think we got some other stuff here. Let's see. So Eddie Jones says, "What is your main way of contacting sellers?" For me personally, it's texting. That's kind of like my preferred choice. And like if I only could choose one method, like if I, you know, let's put it like I've been kind of cutting things back a little bit or whatever. But like if I wanted to go like crazy, crazy full force, the one thing that I would do would be Google Ads. To be 100% honest, with a really good website. But what say you though, Terrell? What's your main way of contacting sellers right now?
No, I agree. I think texting is definitely the best way, and that's my primary way of texting, well, and contacting them. It's just I've been seeing a lot of people don't want to talk on the phone anymore. That's just the common theme right now. Shoot them over a
Yeah.
text message, and they'll respond to you when they can. But getting drip campaigns and stuff like that going as well, you can't do that with cold calling. You just have to keep recycling the list or doing tasks. At least with texting, you could do the drip campaigns and automatically
Mhm.
have that contact or attempt. You can have that attempt to that prospect.
Right. 100%. Yeah, I think that it kind of just automates the entire process a lot more, depending on what service you're using and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah,
like you say, I've definitely noticed that as well. Like a lot of people just don't want to talk on the phone. I mean,
exactly.
or it's just like I don't want to come off as spammy, and I noticed that it's been like a lot of spam calls, like everyone's spam calling people, but there's also spam text as well, and there's a lot of new texting regulations and stuff like that. So you really have to
Exactly. I think
change
they
up the
just dropped
wording in your
some.
text.
What is it? Stir and shaken. It just drops a new cold calling regulation or something like that. I
Mm,
mean, it depends. Cause with cold calling, it gets a little bit more tricky because people around my age, I'm 24, they want to answer the phone. They don't want to talk on the phone. They just want to text you. You be
you
done with
feel
the
me?
conversation as quick as possible. So
100%.
you're reaching out to sellers that are, I mean, it's not gonna be many that's like 24, but sellers that's between like 18 is technically adult 18 or like I don't know 40, I guess. They probably want to be more inclined towards texting because they think
Mhm.
a call might be spam or scam. But like
Correct.
I would say 40 and above, probably better for you just you to cold call or have that included somewhere where you call that person.
Yeah, because it's hard to get people on a to just pick up a random call from a phone number that's not in their cell phone. I mean, even
Yeah.
nowadays in general, like a lot of people, like you said, like under 40, they're like all on social media and stuff like that or whatever. Like you're out and about, and then you're talking to people, they're like, "Oh, give me your Instagram, not your phone number. Let me get your Instagram." Like things have
Yep.
changed. People don't even want to
Yep.
talk. They just want to like stalk you from a distance. It's kind of weird nowadays.
Yep. Yeah, they just want to follow your life.
Yeah, it's so weird, man. It's so weird. Like things have changed so much, seriously. So, okay, so yeah, man. So, let's see what other questions we got. Eddie Jones, what are your marketing methods? I think that's basically what we kind of just covered just now. Like basically what we're doing to actually reach out to people and whatnot, like texting, seems to be kind of like the wave right now. But I ain't gonna lie to you, I really don't want everybody to be doing it. You know what I'm saying? I say be
Yeah.
as flexible as you want. Honestly, everything works. To be 100% honest, man, like everything works. It's just about you being consistent with it and doing it in a good way. Basically, you just got to be the best at whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's direct mail, email marketing, text, cold calling, everything can work, and everything kind of has its good things and its drawbacks. For real.
Exactly. It's mostly
Yeah.
centered around budget. What's your budget to do
Yeah.
it? That's
Right.
mainly like the main qualifying factor on what marketing method you
100%.
want to pursue. But it's something you as a new wholesaler, or like I said earlier, when you're doing that shift quarterly, you might want to be, or you should be analyzing how your marketing method did for that last quarter, so you can know what adjustments you need to make. That's where tracking
Mhm.
KPIs comes into play. KPIs, key
Yep.
performance indicators. That's where that
Yes,
comes into
sir.
play.
Yeah, not everybody is actually doing that. That's one of the most important things that a lot of people kind of slack on, like tracking, analyzing, and organizing all their leads and stuff like that, not letting leads slip through the cracks. That's one of the most important things. I'll see people's like REI reply account, for instance, or whatever, and they'll have like thousands of like unread conversations and stuff. Like, oh my
It's
God.
crazy.
It's
There's
like,
money right there.
yeah, it's like, oh my God, man, we gotta squeeze this orange. What are we doing? Let's get as much of this as possible. Seriously. So let's see. I think let me see what this is. Terrell, how many multiple streams of income do you recommend? Okay, of course, once you have one down. That's a good question. What say you?
I've heard to have true wealth, you need at least 8 different streams of income. So that's what I'm shooting for.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think I'm somewhat like that. I think I got like close to 6, 7, 8, 9, something like that, or whatever. I'm not exactly sure how many I got at this moment, but yeah, I think the more the merrier. In all reality, though, I think that
Definitely.
honestly, Christian, I think that you really, really know the answer to that, and that's as many as possible without burning yourself out.
Especially
You know what
in
I'm
times
saying?
like this, you have one stream of income, and let's just say you work a W-2 and you get furloughed.
It's a
What are you
wrap.
gonna do?
GG, my guy. GG.
Yeah, that's why I do this. I control my own fate to an
Yeah,
extent.
yeah. And you got a whole like bachelor's degree or something like that, right? Don't you?
It's right behind me.
Look
I,
at you.
I,
You
I
know what I'm saying?
really I don't really use it that much. What I think the biggest value out of it, of course, is the networking that comes with it. I went to Penn State. Every time somebody hears I went to Penn State, they're like, "Oh wow, you're
Woo!
really smart." I'm
Sheesh.
like, "Well, thank you. I appreciate that." But the main benefit that I got from this degree, my degree was in mechanical engineering, is the mindset that came with it. It actually helped me a lot in wholesaling and real estate because I can reverse engineer anything I want. It's just a matter of how much time I'm going to put into reverse engineering it. But that's literally what I was trained in school, is
Mm,
how to reverse engineer stuff, how to get to the root of the problem, which came from just being an engineering degree. You
right.
have to be able to diagnose situations like that, figure out the root problem, how to fix it. And that's critical in wholesaling. You get the KPIs, you get the data, you are able to reverse engineer other people's processes that you've seen, and you can get that going.
Mm. So you say you literally do this stuff methodically. You say you thinking about the numbers, you literally breaking it down like, okay, if
Yeah.
I can do this, then I can make this happen. If I can talk to X amount of people, then I can get this amount of deals coming in, da 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 da. Like you're methodically, analytically kind of breaking down this stuff as you're going through it.
Yeah. But surprisingly, I'm not an integrator
Mm,
when I did the test. I'm actually more a visionary.
mm,
It's more like I think I'm 55% visionary and then 45% integrator. It's
mm,
pretty even. But yeah, and especially when you're a solopreneur just starting out, you need to
yeah.
be able to look at things from a higher view, which is why whiteboarding is good. Doing workflows, digital workflows, if you're not going to whiteboard, is very helpful so you can actually see the whole picture and better reverse engineer whatever you're trying to reverse engineer.
Mm. Damn, that's kind of deep, bro. I ain't never gonna lie to you. That's actually really deep, man. So it's like that's yeah, that's real deep, man. Like for real. So it's like despite you like, so you've got the degree in and you say mechanical engineering, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
mechanical
so you
engineering.
got the mechanical engineering degree, and it just so happens that you're still able to use that degree, just not in the actual, field.
Not the traditional way.
Exactly. So, and I
Mm.
think that I could say the same thing when it comes to psychology and stuff like that. Actually, I've got an associate's in psychology, actually being able to talk to people, understand things, stuff like that, or whatever. I've been interested in
Yeah.
people for. So it's like me kind of deep diving and dissecting people makes it easy for me to have conversations and be able to talk articulately and things like that, or whatever, and be able to get my point
And
across and
having a
understand how
psych
to.
degree is a cheat code.
It is,
That's a cheat code in this business. That's crazy.
in general in sales, yeah, it definitely does come in handy. And it's crazy how like you'll think like, oh well, I got this degree, but I'm not using it, quote unquote, or whatever. A lot of people may think that, but I think in the entrepreneurial space, like you'll find uses for that degree. It's very interesting.
Somewhere.
You can
It
find a
may
use
not
for your
be
degree
immediate,
outside of a job, like
right? It might
but
not be
even if it
immediate,
is.
but you will eventually.
Yeah. That if you can, that's always a beautiful blessing, in my opinion. At least it's kind of weird how it works. Though I noticed that happens to a lot of people. Well, like maybe Anyway, like things translate over to real estate very very well, is what I've noticed. If you're really good at
Definitely.
selling cars, cell phones, you're a good waiter, and like people really really like you, get really good tips, you're probably going to be good at this wholesaling stuff. If you can get
Yeah.
all of the organizational stuff good as well, if you're good with people, you just got to put the people stuff together and the processing stuff together. You're gonna be good to go out here in these streets for real.
Oh,
So anyway, though, man, yeah, this has been good though, man. This has been good. I've been digging this vibe. Let me check one thing real quick. Okay, so guys, do you all have any other questions? I see our questions have kind of dried up. If y'all got any other questions, comments, concerns, y'all want to pop on, there is a link on YouTube where if y'all want to pop on to the live stream yourselves, y'all can definitely do that as well. Y'all can show y'all face on the actual live stream. I'm going to paste it into the chat one more time. Whether y'all on Facebook or YouTube, y'all should get that link that I just posted just now. If y'all want to pop on, definitely feel free to come through. If y'all haven't already, though, man, make sure that y'all hit that like button. Show some support for the channel. I would definitely appreciate it. And also, I wanted to kind of touch base on the last couple questions that I have for you as well. Terrell, I almost forgot for a second there. Because I wanted to make sure that people got an opportunity to be able to work with you. I know that like you've dropped a lot of juice on this session already or whatever. Just like in the last session, you be dropping a lot of gems, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I'm curious, like if someone wanted to work with you, like how could they actually go about doing that? I know we got the how to find hedgefunds.com down below or whatever, but how could someone actually get in contact with you if they wanted to work with you or just chat with you or something like that? What would be the best?
yeah. So the best way would be reach out to me on Instagram. I have my name up. I don't know what happened to it, but it's my name, Terrell Hawkins .rei on Instagram. If you're interested in JVing, you can definitely go to my site. Right now it's rapiddeal.net, rapid deal. So it's just combined RAPIDEL DAL
Right.
dot
Yeah.
net.
Close enough. Close enough.
Right. Yeah, rapiddeal.net. I just rebranded it, so that's why I'm a little messed up. But that's the best place in terms of JVing with me. I got my buying criteria there to match over my hedge funds. Can help dispo regular deals as well. Do have access to some platforms to expand on that.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the best ways to connect with me, depending on why you're looking to connect with me.
Okay. Boom. So depending on what y'all looking for, definitely check out those links. Matter of fact, I'm going to try to post the rest of those links that you just said. I know I got a couple links down below in the description of the video, but I'm going to add the rest of those links as well. So if y'all checking it out in the replay, all of those links that he just said should be down below as well. Let's see. I think, Michelle asked another question. Let's see what she says. Best new wholesaler course.
Hey, right there.
Hey, come on, man. Look, Wholesaler University, Michelle. You got to try it out. It's a link for
Yeah,
Wholesaler University down in the description of this video. That's my personal wholesale course. I think that there's over 100 videos inside of there. There's all types of documents, resources, everything that you're going to need to actually get started out here. It's going to give you the basic kind of blueprint, but it's also going to be some advanced stuff as well. And you also get a free one-on-one strategy session session with me when you get the course. I think you get like a 45-minute strategy session. So I'll be
That's
glad to chat
wild.
with you. I'll be on the lookout for you, Michelle. I'm like,
That's
matter of
how I
fact,
got here.
look at that. Look at that. You know what I'm saying? That's so crazy. Wow, that's deep, man. That's deep, actually.
Yeah, that's
So yeah,
crazy.
that is crazy. So what was I gonna say? So yeah, though, guys, I was gonna say, yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, if y'all want to grab a strategy session, one-on-one strategy session, there's a link down below. I think that, do you offer one-on-one strategy sessions as well? I can't remember if you told me yay or nay on that. I can't remember.
It's not completely launched yet.
Oh, okay.
But in the time being right now, just reach out to me, DM me on Instagram. I am going to be putting it in my link tree on my Instagram
Okay.
to be scheduling strategy sessions there. And yeah, so that's where I'm going to be adding it. But in the meantime, if you're interested in talking like that, definitely shoot me a DM and we can chat.
Boom. Just like that. You know, we got y'all. We definitely got y'all. We definitely want to hook y'all up. Let's see. RJ says, good to see ya. Hey, same here. Hey. You know, I always appreciate the support. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure we both do. And let's see. Michelle says, okay, thanks. I'll check it out. Okay,
We
awesome,
do.
awesome, awesome. Well, guys, look, I'm not gonna hold y'all up here. Was there anything else that you wanted to kind of touch base on before we got up out of here, though, bro?
Yeah, so I'm doing a little free giveaway. So for the
Yeah.
audience here, definitely check it out.
Oh, snaps.
It's the top 10 hedge funds buying the last 12 months. When I first started, it took me months to find the names of these hedge funds because, like I said, they're hidden behind LLCs. What I've done for you is comprised a list of the top 10 hedge funds buying in the last 12 months, real estate hedge funds buying in the last 12 months. So definitely go to www.howtofindhedgefunds.com/free list and you can get
Boom.
it there.
Okay. How to find, hold on, let me see. How to find hedgefunds.com/free list.
Yep.
This is
And
how-
it's a little bonus in that
Woo.
bonus.
Hey, boom. There we go, right there. Got it listed. There we go. Hey, so man, definitely make sure that y'all check it out, man. Look, all of y'all that actually stayed into the end, man. Look, y'all getting the super gems, you know, before everybody else does. So salute to y'all for actually sticking through with us, this late in the evening. I know it's a lot later wherever y'all probably are. I know most of y'all probably aren't on the West Coast like me. So I do appreciate y'all coming through in prime time on a Wednesday to spend a little bit of time, ask some questions, get some free game out here with Terrell. I do appreciate you as well, Terrell, for coming through once again, dropping some gems on the community, man, for real. We
Appreciate
sure
you
do
having me back
appreciate
on. I know it's rare.
hey, right. Like you one of the only people that's ever been on more than once. I've literally only had like a handful of people ever in years of doing this to ever be on more than once. So I do
Honor.
appreciate it. People saying thanks. We do appreciate y'all as well, man. For real. Appreciate y'all for sticking through to the end. Make sure that y'all check out those free resources, man. Obviously, from this conversation, if y'all stuck with us through this whole thing or whatever, hedge funds are where it's at right now. I'm just gonna be 100% honest. Like it's where it's at. So definitely check out Terrell's resources, how to find hedge funds.com, check out the free listing as well. Y'all about, oh, snaps. Did you turn off CRISPR? God dang. He said,
It cut off. It cut off.
oh, snaps. We out of there. Well, it's a good thing we at the end, man. We made it, y'all. So, look, we ain't going to hold y'all up, man. I hope that y'all have a healthy, blessed one, man. As always, man, we love y'all. Until next time, guys, we are. Hey, appreciate y'all, man. Let's end this.